If you have ever dreamed of selling up and escaping modern life for an island of your own, then this could be your chance. The Scottish Isle of Ulva in the Inner Hebrides is going up for sale for the first time in 70 years. The £425 million price tag covers the entire 4,583-acre piece of land, which comes with a manor house, church, restaurant and more properties, and there are no fears of overcrowding. With a population of just 16, its dramatic landscape has a history of winning over the hearts of visitors and residents alike, inspiring the great Sir Walter Scott to pen his famous poem Lord of the Isles in 1815. He wasn't alone in falling for its charm, with children's author Beatrix Potter and Victorian explorer Dr Livingstone also drawing inspiration from the landscape. Stunning. If you have ever dreamed of owning your own island, then this is your chance to become lord of your own isle on the piece of incredible landscape which inspired poet Sir Walter Scott. The Scottish literary star was so enamored by Ulva, the second largest island of the Inner Hebrides, that he penned the famous Lord of the Isles poem. The sale includes a 7-bedroom house, a church, a restaurant and tea room, and 8 other properties. There are also farm buildings to support the agricultural and livestock operation. Ulva House, the main property, was built in 1950 and is Grade B listed. The other residential properties on the island include traditional bothies, the former manse and a sporting lodge. The sale includes a 7-bedroom house, a church, a restaurant and tea room, and 8 other properties. There are also farm buildings to support the agricultural and livestock operation. Settlement on the island dates back as far as 5600 BC, and it has links with Clan Macquarie. Major General Lachlan Macquarie, known as the Father of Australia, was born on Ulva in 1810 and often referenced his island upbringing in his writings over the years. The island has attracted several famous names, including the famous missionary and explorer Dr David Livingstone and biographer James Boswell. Beatrix Potter regularly visited after her cousin Caroline married Laird of Ulva and dedicated 2 of her books to Caroline's son Francis William of Ulva. The island was also the inspiration for Sir Walter Scott's poem The Lord of the Isles. Ulva lies off the western coast of the Isle of Mull and has a mild climate moderated by the Gulf Stream. It is known for its awe-inspiring scenery with views overlooking the coastlines of the Treshnish Isles, Dutchman's Cap and Mull's breathtaking headlands and mountains. There is a restaurant/tea shop, but no supermarket, post office, bank or GP, with Icelanders traveling to Mull for most of their amenities. Above Ulva House, Ulva is known for its awe-inspiring scenery with views overlooking the coastlines of the Treshnish Isles, Dutchman's Cap and Mull's breathtaking headlands and mountains. Sir Walter Scott was so enamored by Ulva, the second largest island of the Inner Hebrides, that he penned the famous Lord of the Isles poem. The island is a haven for wildlife and is home to 123 different bird species, including the white-tailed sea eagle, minke whales, porpoises and dolphins are among the sea life that can be spotted around Ulva. The island is a haven for wildlife and is home to 123 different bird species, including the white-tailed sea eagle, minke whales, porpoises and dolphins are among the sea life that can be spotted around Ulva. Ulva House, the main property, was built in 1950 and is Grade B listed. The other residential properties on the island include traditional bothies, the former manse and a sporting lodge. Ulva Church no longer holds regular services as the last resident minister left in 1929, but occasional services such as family weddings and christenings are still held. There is a restaurant/tea shop but no supermarket, post office, bank or GP, with Icelanders traveling to Mull for most of their amenities. Ulva House, the main property, was built in 1950 and is Grade B listed. The other residential properties on the island include traditional bothies, the former manse and a sporting lodge. Great opportunity. Tom Stuart Moore from Knight Frank said, "The island is truly spectacular. It feels like the world away from normal life, yet it has all you need: mains, electricity, phone lines, internet, and the mainland is very accessible." Rare, the estate agent, said it was unusual the whole island for sale and said it would likely appeal to those who like privacy. Tom Stuart Moore from Knight Frank said, "The island is truly spectacular. It feels like the world away from normal life, yet it has all you need: mains, electricity, phone lines, internet, and the mainland is very accessible." It's located off the Isle of Mull, which is a well-known holiday destination, and it's a fairly idyllic 1-minute crossing to Ulva. There's a road that leads from the pier to the main house, and there are 9 other properties, including holiday cottages set in amongst the woodland overlooking the water, which are mostly accessible by quad bikes on tracks. The other quick way to get around the island is by boat for someone interested in the sea or sailing. It's absolute paradise. There is an abundance of wildlife, fantastic native woodlands. The owner puts out lobster pots, sources oysters, and amazing mushrooms grow on the island. There's also a resident population of 400 deer for anyone keen on deer stalking, and it's steeped in history as well. It's unusual in that it is the whole island for sale. It will appeal to those that like complete privacy, lifestyle buyers, for those interested in it as a business, for those that love the sea. The thought of being able to move around the island and land on one of the many sandy beaches is ideal. There's definitely a bit of a romance side of wanting to own your own island. For those that have the wherewithal, it's a very unique opportunity to get something of this stature. The Lord of the Isles started life in 1815 as Scott was looking for a potentially lucrative poetical subject to cover the cost of building his new home at Abbotsford. He initially felt that a poem on the wanderings of Robert the Bruce would meet his purpose shortly after setting to work on it. However, he thought that an English theme might have more novelty and abandoned it in favor of rockabilly. He took up the Bruce manuscript once again in 1813, when seeking funds after the collapse of John Ballantyne's publishing house. See financial hardship. After lengthy negotiations, the rights to the poem were sold in advance to John Constable,